This is the crazy story of how one renter in New York City's rent went from $38.50 to $347 just because they were nice to their neighbor. This is the story of Pearson Tyler Leonard, a notorious drag queen from the 80s who changed the lives of all of his neighbors. This building was once nicknamed the White House because of how much heroin flowed through it. And in the 80s, Pearson combined the top two apartments with one of his friends, and they each were paying around $200. These were rent-stabilized apartments, so the rents rarely went up. But later on, his roommate went to jail for murdering someone, and then he struggled to pay the rent on his own. He wound up in court with the new landlord saying that he had to vacate the second apartment. A few years later, Pearson grew frustrated at all the hipster millennials that were moving into his building, paying thousands of dollars per month. All the while, the landlord was not responding to basic maintenance requests for him. Pearson was getting older, he was ill, he didn't have any family around to help him. But the neighbors that moved in across the hall were a godsend. They watched his cat, they carried his groceries up the stairs, they checked in on him. So when the landlord tried to increase their rent by 30% the following year, essentially pricing them out of the building, he let them in on a secret. That they were in fact living in a rent-stabilized apartment where the legal rent was just a few $100s. And he had the receipts. The couple across the hall got into motion, rallied the neighbors, got a lawyer, and they won their case. The rents in the entire building were adjusted downwards. You may be thinking, how can I get this to happen to me? Well, I'm happy to inform you that you don't just need an older neighbor that has all the paperwork from the past 30 years. There is an easier way to find out if your apartment is stabilized and what the legal rent is. And I'm gonna send you to the pinned video on our profile to learn more.